Have you ever experienced God's presence? Do you know how to recognize when God is shifting the atmosphere? What is worship, and why is it important? How can you attract God? If you've ever asked any of these questions, follow along this series as we cover the answer to these questions and more. But the hour cometh, and now is, when the true worshippers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth, for the Father seeketh such to worship him. God is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. John chapter 4 verses 23 and 24. Worship serves as a channel for the Spirit of God to enter the atmosphere. Genuine worship must originate from the heart to bring about God's divine presence and supernatural change. The Bible emphasizes God's enjoyment of music and how heartfelt worship attracts His presence, leading to supernatural occurrences. When people worship sincerely, it draws God's presence, bringing His glorious and benevolent essence into the surroundings. According to Psalm 22 verse 3, God dwells in the praises of His people, showing His love for worship. By offering heartfelt worship and giving our best, we invite God's presence to fill the atmosphere and address the needs of those present. If one seeks to have God's presence in their situation, worshiping Him is the way to welcome Him into that space. A man shared his story about his upbringing in a denomination that didn't have a worship service at his church, but rather a song service and a music program. There were various choirs, including youth and children's choirs, and the focus was mainly on the music aspect of worship. He mentioned that he never truly felt a sense of worship until he joined the choir of a well-known healing ministry. His initial intention was not for worship, but to witness the miracles that took place on stage. During a particular service, they transitioned from singing regular songs to a moment where the entire crowd started singing the old tune, Hallelujah. This shift in music created a powerful moment for the man, where he felt lifted to a new spiritual place that he had never experienced before in his life. It was at this significant moment that the minister made her entrance onto the stage. She didn't come until a conduit had been established for the presence of God to fill the auditorium. The man described another worship experience he had at a small Bible study in Sand Springs, Oklahoma, his hometown. He felt uncomfortable being in such a spirit-filled environment, as it was not something he was used to. During the gathering, everyone in the room held hands and started singing in tongues. This experience made him feel like he had entered the realm of angels, where the presence of God was tangible. Despite the absence of musical instruments, the group's unified singing in tongues led them into a profound place of worship. When we consider the Old Testament, we observe that worship within the temple served as a means for the presence of God to enter that location. The atmosphere was filled with such intensity that it overwhelmed the priests, causing them to be unable to stand and minister. This phenomenon is documented in 2 Chronicles 5 verse 14 and aligns with the message in Psalm 22 verse 3, stating that God is enthroned upon the praises of His followers. Similar to how metal is drawn to a magnet, God is drawn to worship. When genuinely worshiping, one can experience God. However, recent studies have revealed that many Christian leaders lack a true understanding of worship. Surprisingly, some adults attending church services claim they have not felt God's presence during worship, indicating that true worship did not take place but rather a mere song service. Additionally, some individuals view worship as a self-serving act, seeking personal gratification or relief. Nevertheless, worship is intended for God, not for our own benefit. By creating a channel for His presence, God can manifest Himself. Worship encompasses more than just music. While music can enhance the experience, it is not a prerequisite for worship. Worship can take place anywhere, even in solitude, without musical accompaniment. Using an example of attending the Bolshoi Theater in Moscow, Russia, the man highlighted his experiences. He emphasized the world-class ballet performances, exceptional opera, and the talented orchestra members. The Bolshoi Theater is known for its prestige and leaves a lasting impression on those fortunate enough to visit. He expressed admiration for the Russian ballet dancers' extraordinary leaps, the dancers' unmatched skills, and the overall grandeur of the theater, calling it a cathedral of human achievement. But as good as the music is, and as good as the instrumentalists and dancers are, it doesn't bring the presence of God. He then says this is what a lot of churches have become. He drew a comparison between the Bolshoi Theater and some churches, noting that while churches may have well-coordinated songs and performances, true worship goes beyond musical excellence. He emphasized that worship should involve more than just talent and music, highlighting the importance of truly connecting with and glorifying God. He suggested that genuine worship should evoke the powerful presence of God and go beyond just producing good music. Jesus emphasized in John chapter 4 that true worship involves revering God in spirit and truth, portraying worship as drawing intimately near to God. The Greek word for worship, proskuneo, implies drawing close and showing intimate affection, symbolizing a deep, personal connection with God. Worship should center on the adoration of God as an individual one has a profound relationship with, rather than solely focusing on music. As the biblical figure David expressed in Psalm 63, worship entails seeking God earnestly and intimately, thirsting for His presence. When individuals approach worship with their whole hearts, not just through musical expressions, God seeks such worshipers. In this sacred space, God is enthroned upon praises and worship, drawing His presence closer to those who earnestly seek Him. Just as metal is attracted to a magnet, the presence of God has the power to transform everything when it manifests during worship. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to share and subscribe. Thanks for watching.